This segment brought to you by Inglis, the Great Southern Weanling and Broodmare Sale, June 9 and 10 in Melbourne. We see many ex-racing staff taking their thoroughbreds into the equestrian field, but here's a great story of two young riders who've taken their love for the thoroughbred into a new career in racing. Chloe Mannell and Jasmine Haynes have both successfully competed with their thoroughbreds in show jumping. So what does it take to transfer those skills into becoming a track rider with champion trainer Chris Waller?
I've had a few thoroughbreds over the years as well, and just love their temperament, love working with them. It's a different world, race horses to show jumping horses, very different. But yeah, it's great. I really love it.
Chris, it was so fantastic to see Chloe and Jasmine coming from the equestrian world now as work riders with your stables. It's a big transition, isn't it, for a young person?
Yeah, it is, but that horse knowledge is very valuable. To have girls like that, or boys that come into the stable with the knowledge of the equestrian world, it's actually very good for us. And I think it lessens the gap. Some people seeing racing broadcast and the heights that it is probably see it as a specialist sport, but it's far from it. We just need horsemen. And I think the gap's becoming closer, especially with the rehoming. Thoroughbreds are very young when they're retired. 4, 5, 6-year-olds, maybe a 7-year-old. That's only a baby in terms of the equestrian world. So I think getting a mix between the two, these young people coming into our sport, they're very good because there is a big labour shortage, and that's something that we need to address. And yeah, having the expertise of young people from that equestrian world is second to none. So yeah, in return, I guess they'll see some of these thoroughbreds say, oh gee, that's a very nice horse. As most of the thoroughbreds are, they're beautiful individuals. They've got life after racing, and their life's just beginning. Basically, they've had 25% of their life, and they can go on and compete the right horses until they're, I guess, well in their teens.
My family have always had horses. I've grown up in the horse industry, especially show jumping. All my sisters have ridden as well. Started out, I needed a job, and I thought that I love horses, I love riding, so I got into track work in Wagga at a local stable with Trevor Sutherland. He got me started, and it just sort of took off from there. It's a great environment to be in. Like, I came to Chris Waller Racing, I was only meant to be here for a few weeks, and now I'm here. I ended up moving here to work here. Everyone does get on. It's good fun. Like, you get up early, but it's not really a drag to do that. You know, you look forward to coming to work.
Great. I'm a bit rusty at the moment, I haven't been jumping much, but it was really nice to come here today on my Sunday off work and have a jump.
Before I started working at Waller's, I was just doing my normal show jumping, competing every weekend. I had a few off-the-track thoroughbreds, which I was competing in the thoroughbred classes as well, which was great. And then I decided to come work here and get more experience in the thoroughbred industry. There's a bit of an art to it. It's definitely not easy. I won't say it's easy, but it's been good hard work.
And what do they bring uniquely? I mean, both those girls have actually ridden thoroughbreds a lot before they understand the breed. Does that really assist them in dealing with the thoroughbred? Because, you know, they are pretty excitable. They're, you know, fed to the hilt basically to be performance athletes. But does that help them, their background?
Oh, for sure. It's just a different riding style, but once they get the confidence and they build different muscles throughout their body, they adapt very quickly. So it's just about the confidence, and that's where there's been some great courses to be able to help train these young people, and not just young people. There's middle-aged people also wanting to ride horses, believe it or not. So training in the modern day and age is hard. So we need specialist people to be able to train them properly. They've got great horsemanship, but they're adapting to standing up in the irons and dealing with a feisty horse from time to time. They're not always perfect. Is the key to safety and, of course, providing jobs in the industry.
And training stables are so different now than they used to be. I mean, they used to be a bit rough and ready and people would just get on and gallop. There's a lot more education of the thoroughbreds in their pre-training and breaking in, etc. But also in their work on the track. We showed them trotting over poles and saw some really lovely horses like Bonnie Ezra, who went on and won on the weekend, just out there and, you know, just using their brain. So it's not for young riders getting involved, just that you're going to have to get on and gallop. You're actually taken along a ride with the horse.
Yeah, well, we'll identify a rider and see where their strengths and weaknesses are and work towards their strengths, whether it be dressage, whether it be just popping over some basic jumps, because getting a horse using its muscles properly, I think, is the key, as well as mentally. So nowadays and age when horses are expensive, they've always been expensive, but probably more so now. I just can't say, look, that horse is not very fast, it's got to go. I've got to find ways to help it compete, help it be happy, help it deal with stress and things that you mightn't have had to deal with before. We have to now. So I think it's a good thing, and the horses love it. It's a pretty good life at the main racing stables. Most racing stables. We love our horses. We treat them as if they're our pets, and you can tell a happy horse.
It's very good for them, especially in their racing. It gives them something different to think about. It's also good for us because, you know, being a rider outside of track work, that it allows us to sort of see what they can do for then an appropriate next home for them.
Here we do a lot of work in the arena, which I really enjoy. I think it's great, and we've been teaching them like bending around corners, getting them to turn better, getting them to be a lot softer. And it's interesting because some horses that pull on the track are really lovely in the arena and they don't pull and they just love it. And I think it's really good for them.
And it's good for their brain as well.
Yeah, it gives them something different to do. It's like really great going over some little jumps with them, getting to see which ones actually have some ability. It's great, I love it.
And what about you as a rider? What have you had to learn to do slightly differently?
Yeah, I've had to get a lot stronger, a lot fitter. The fitness is a big part of it, but just slowly having like 2 rides a day, 3 rides a day, just keep going and you'll get fitter.
And what's the education process? So does someone is someone teaching every day everything that you're doing? So there must be sort of a structure in how you actually progress from riding, you know, some slow work, some older horses into faster work, younger horses. How does that work?
Yeah, so like I've just started doing like just mostly slow work I do, but I get a gallop like once or twice a week just to teach, because I obviously I've like just started doing this, so it's all new to me too. And riding shorter in the stirrups, I've had to learn to do that, which was quite difficult because your balance is completely different to riding with long stirrups.
And what's it like when you do a fast gallop?
It's so good. I love it. I love it when I get a gallop. It's so fun.
It's definitely a challenge. You know, you've ridden one way your whole life and now you're riding a different way. But now it's the opposite, and I'm used to riding track work, so when I ride normal horses, it feels weird.
And you've known Jasmine as well for a long time. Tell me how you came to meet.
Yeah, so Jasmine and I, we've always competed together. We met at Sydney Royal a couple of years ago. We were both, I think, 16 or 17, and we just, hit it off, and we've been friends ever since. And I came here, she started working here, and she told me it's a great place to be and that I should come, and here I am 5 months later and I'm still here.
And Chris Waller's a great boss, isn't he? I mean, he knows all the staff, he knows all the horses.
That was one thing I really liked when I came here. He'd come in the mornings and he introduces everyone by name, like he greets you by name. He'll say, "Good morning, Chloe. Good morning, Jasmine." Like, I just found that really nice.
And happy staff too. I mean, talking to both Chloe and Jasmine, they're very complimentary about yourself, but the way you have the whole stable set up, I mean, it's a great place for people that want to go and talk to someone that's the leader of the bar or the foreperson of a certain barn. You know, you have great levels of management.
Yeah, well, we have to with the scale that we're at, but we're fortunate enough as well to have enough staff. So you don't want to be rushing your staff. You do want to get round and say good morning to them and point out a few little things here and there, and vice versa. You might ask them questions about what they would do and how they would deal with a horse such with a problem, for example. So yeah, it's a great mix of so many facets of horsemanship, and we're very lucky that we've got good wages now to be able to offer staff and good working conditions, and we continue to try and improve where our weaknesses are.
So what would you say to any sort of young person that's riding and thinks, oh, I really would like to keep working with thoroughbreds, but in a more professional capacity?
Yeah, find a local stable and just say what you want to do and, you know, what your experience level is, and I'm sure they'll always take you in, and they're always looking for more workers. It's a great environment to be. They'll always help you out.
Also, like, you meet so many new people, meet so many new friends, get to go to the races, which I find really fun. I love going to the races, and just so many good horses. It's really great. I love it here. I have a bit of a habit of looking at them as show jumping horses and not race horses. Like, if I see a horse that's big and tall with long legs, heaps of scope, nice temperament, I think, oh wow, that could be one off the track later.
Jump in, you'll get pretty well paid. Riding horses is a shortage, so the wages are good. The self-satisfaction is second to none when the horse goes past the post first, or when they do that work on them each morning and they come out and improve their form. You can actually see what's going on, and they get a lot of pride from it. Yeah, working with nice horses, well-bred horses, you name it, there's a lot of job satisfaction that comes with it.